Welcome up guys. So in this video I'm going to show you how I created this football poster with Photoshop. Right, let's quickly get into it. So you head over to Photoshop, set your image size, then once you've done that, zoom in to get a better view. After zooming in, just allow me to arrange my stuff. Okay, so I have a folder where all the files I'm going to use are found, you understand, and I'm going to make all this available in the Telegram group channel. So put in the stadium you know, fill it up in the canvas, then yeah, I think it's good like this. I think it's good like this. Convert to smart objects and go to adjustments, go to here saturation. I'm trying to make it a little bit much more bluer. We're trying to increase the saturation of the blue, just the blue, not that color. So that's how you can do it. This is our first image that we're going to be importing. So what we have to do is to select, go to select, and subject is going to select the subject in the photo. All right, yes, it's going to help you select the subject in the photo. You can do this through object selection tool, but I prefer using select because it's more accurate. All right, so you've seen it has traced everything. So what you will do immediately is to click Ctrl J to make a copy, then convert that particular image that you have copied to a smart object, then resize as you want. The reason why I say this should turn into smart object is because if you want to, like, before you resize it, if you want to, you know, make further adjustments, if you've resized it and compressed the pixels, if you want to expand it back, it's not going to look clean. All right, so but if you convert it to smart object, if you expand it, if you compress it, it's still going to carry the same pixels. All right, yeah. All right, so we're going to get our eraser tool. We maxed the image, so we're going to get our eraser tool. So we're going to erase part of the body that we do not need. All right, I'm going to erase it. We just need the number 10 and his name, Dembele, at the back. That's just what we need for the top of the image. So once we get that, we're good. We have to do it nice and slow. You have to do it nice and slow. All right. So we're going to head over to image as well. Head over to color balance. We're going to make this image a little bit bluer. You see, I'm trying to make it nicer. You can choose not to do it, but I want my image to blend well with the background. Alright, so if you want to achieve the same results, you have to do the same thing that I am doing. Now we're going to import our next image, which is another picture of Ousmane Dembele. we have to repeat the same thing we did with the first image, which is select, then subject, to auto select the subject in the picture, and we'll hit on Ctrl J once it has selected the subject. Ctrl J is to make a copy. Alright, so once you've done that, you'd note you should turn off the visibility of the main picture, or better still, just delete it straight up. Me, I'm still going to delete mine, but I just want to place the image first. Alright, yeah. We're going to zoom in a little bit and try and put things in better shape. Now we're going to use the object selection. So this is how you can make your selection manually. You'd select, you zoom in to get a better selection. Alright, once you've done that, you click Ctrl J as well, go to image, go to adjustments, go to white and black, then you would achieve this white and black effect I did. Okay, this is how I was able to achieve it. You would go to adjustment again, you're trying to make the black tick. You will go to input level and drag it back a little bit, and you'd see that the black is really good. Alright, it's really nice. So we have achieved this with the second image. Now we're going to import another image, which is the crown. This is the crown that Debmela is going to be putting on. I decided to try multiply, I decided to try screen blending option, but nope, it wasn't what I needed. So what I did was subject select, and it would select the image for me automatically, but it's not always perfect. So what we're going to do is to use our hand and manually adjust it. And once you've done just that, all we're going to do is to Ctrl J, hit the Ctrl J button and convert to smart object, and also hit free transform. I'm going to transform the image. That is Ctrl T. Yeah, you hit on Ctrl T and you'll be able to resize the image or rotate it. So this is exactly how I was able to achieve mine. You resize as you wish. And we're going to make advanced adjustments so as we can let the crown fit his head. I'm going to clean up this part. No, this is the wrong eraser, this is the wrong brush. Okay, I've increased the opacity. So you would clean all these parts that aren't meant to be visible when someone is wearing a crown. You have to do this part gently so you would achieve the best result. would make further adjustments fits on this. Okay, after much effort, I think now it looks good. You can go a step further to add like a little shadow between the crown and the belly, but we might not be able to do that. All I'm going to do is just just increase the saturation, the color of the crown. So once we've done that, all we're going to do is to import our next image. Which is hope you saw what I did. I actually flipped horizontally. So what we're going to do is to hit select, but we're going to resize first. Okay, now we have selected the character, the subject. What we're going to do is to check if it's accurately selected. You would hit Ctrl J, make a copy. But if it's not accurately selected, you do it manually to achieve the best results. So now we have done it manually. We just have to delete the main layer, use the selected layer, and what we're going to do next is camera raw filter. We are going to try and increase the texture and make it more crispy. Alright, so what we're going to do next is toggle the exposure, highlight, set your highlight to the exact same value that I did mine. Go to details, sharpen the image a little bit. I think you've seen how it looks now. It looks much better now. So what you're going to do next is you're going to try and position it very well. You're going to try as much as possible to position your image well, and resize as well too. Once you've done that, okay, what I'm going to be doing is we're going to try and erase the excess part of the top image. Yeah, and after that you have to go and import another image. I have to send that image to the top. This one now, you have to send it to the top. Cancel. Send it to the top. I want it to be at the front so that we can be able to make the automatic selection and place it as well. So hit subject, Alright, it has been selected. So what you need to do next is, this is not what you need to do next. You have to hit Ctrl J. But before you hit Ctrl J, check out the image. Check it out. Check out the image. Check for any error that you can find. I checked for mine, and I saw that there was this that was just right here. So you just hit on it. You hold Alt and hit on it so that it can remove that. You hide the main image, delete it as well. Get over to the copied image, convert to smart object, and would convert to smart object immediately or eventually. Please, before you resize, do also convert to smart object. Yeah, converted. You can also go a step further to, camera raw filter, or hit Ctrl Shift E. Once you do that, you are going to play with the same details like sharpening, texture, and if you look as you're doing them, you're going to see the effect of what you're doing on the player. So you do all these things, use the same exact values that I used, and you've seen how it came out to be. So still make further adjustments to give us an excellent result. We're going to select the player's jersey. I'm trying to make it as blue as possible because I think it's not blue enough currently. You feel me? So what we're going to do is we're going to select the player's jersey. We're going to make a selection, a quick selection. So I believe we're done. We'll head over to image, head over to adjustments, hue and saturation. Click here, click on blues, then move it. Are you seeing it? It's just the blue color in that selection that is going to be adjusted. Every other color is going to be perfect. It's going to be, it will not be tampered with. Now we've done just that. We hit Ctrl G to deselect, and now we need to make the face to be black and white. So you make another selection, okay, I think we need to readjust the size of the brush so we can get the ears and other tiny angles as well. Okay, once you've done that, you're going to hit Ctrl J to duplicate what you have selected. Head over to adjustment, head over to black and white. Here you're going to be able to get your black effect. You hit on OK immediately. You can choose to group those two images. That is the face selection and the face that was selected and the body. You can choose to group it so that you might not have a scattered work. Alright, this is if you decide to, but I don't necessarily need to do it. Alright, so what we're going to do next is focus on the next thing. And the next thing is to import another image. I think this should be our last image of Dembele that we need to import. Alright, now what we need to do is, we need to place it then make a quick selection. We're going to make a quick selection. Alright, once you've done that, you flip horizontally so it can face the other side. Alright, yeah. What we're going to do now is to resize. We're going to resize and place in a perfect way that won't look too big on the ground. It won't look too big, and it won't look too small as well. So you have to resize as possible. Once you've done that, try and convert smart objects. Then delete the copy layer at the main layer. Then try and increase the camera raw filter. Okay, now you've seen what it looks like. This is the reason why I say do not shrink your image before upscaling it or trying to do it. The pixels have gone down a lot, so all we need to do now is hit on Ctrl Z, so that we're going to undo what we've done so far to get the main image that has not yet been compressed. Once we get it, what we're going to do is to convert it to smart object immediately. Alright, then you run to filter, and once you get filter, you're going to hit on that camera raw filter, and a new tab is going to open where you can be able to edit, and you're going to see the difference. You will see that now the pixels of the image are much clearer. Look at it, it looks much better here, right? So before you tamper with the size of any image, convert it to smart objects. Once you convert it to smart objects, if you shrink it, the pixels are still going to be intact. If you do not shrink it, it's still going to be intact. So we're going to toggle with the texture, the sharpening, and our usual source, our usual few touches. Then hit OK. Then yeah, we have to also hit on Ctrl T. Alright, so that we can resize and rotate horizontally or flip horizontally. So once we have flipped horizontally, we're going to reduce the size. We're going to reduce the size. Still have to reduce it a little bit more. I think it's good like this. I mean, what do you think? It's good like this. Just make few adjustments here and there, and yeah, we're done. So now we need to do some other things like adding the shadows under the feet, adding his reflection on the ground to look more realistic, and nothing much. That's just basically it. So what we're going to do is to duplicate the image. Normally take it below, take the duplicated one below the main one, then you can rename it as shadow, so that you can be able to easily identify the shadow and non-shadow at the layers panel. Then you go to exposure. You can do this through so many ways, but you can go to exposure and reduce it. So you're going to see what it's come out. You reduce the exposure and it came out to be black. You can choose to paint it, you can choose to do every other there are several ways to achieve that. So the next thing is we're going to go to blur. You're going to go to Gaussian blur, and you can use 9.6. You can use that. You can use 10. You can use whatever you want. You can also head to motion blur, and make it a little bit blurry because the player is in motion and the shadow to also have to be in kind of emotion stuff. You understand me? So what we're going to do now is we have to place the shadow in a way that it shows that it's reflecting. Alright, and the one way we are meant to do it, or the one we're going to use and do it, is through distort. Yes, so we're going to distort the shadow. Right now it's showing the player and not the reflection, or let's say, or not the shadow. So we will have to rasterize it. When you rasterize it, it's going to actually show the shadow. This is what it means, Abby. This is what the current state is. When you now rasterize it and you click on free transform, it will not show you the player, instead it will continue to show you the shadow. Alright, so you hit on distort and distort in, you continue distorting till you're satisfied with the reflection of the player. You're going to do it in a way that seems so realistic that nobody tends to believe that it's Photoshop. So yeah, you can actually do and skip the placing. Okay, I believe it's good now. You can see the difference. Now we have to use our brush tool to add shadows underneath the boot of the players. You can edit the brush tool. You can turn it around. You can try and make it to fit whatever you're trying to do. Right? Note, why creating these shadows, you have to create them inside the shadow layer because it is rasterized. Alright, don't create it on the main image layer. You create it on the shadow layer. Yeah. Okay. Few touches here and there. Now take a look at what we've done so far. Looks pretty amazing, right? Yeah, it is. So I think we need to touch up the background a little bit. So I have like this background right here on my background folder, and would like to apply this to our background. So you're going to try and stretch it out to fit the canvas, sorry. Once it has done that, you're going to go to image adjustments and color balance. You're going to give it this bluish feel. You go to the highlight, put it in the blue side. You go to shadows, put it in the blue side as well, and it's going to give you more of a color blue situation. So you need to do is to set the blending mode, either soft light or to overlay. I think both have an amazing result. soft light and overlay both have an amazing outcome, but I think overlay is much better. Overlay is much better. Then you reduce the opacity a little bit, reduce the feel as well, so it won't look too concentrated. Alright, I think our image is looking much better. Our image is looking much finer. Okay, now we're going to erase part of erase part of just a little touch. I don't want it to be all bluish all around. Alright, so we're going to erase some parts, that is especially the lower parts of the background stuff. I want the upper part to be really blue, but not the lower part. You can choose to leave yours like that without doing this, but I'm doing it. So drag in your Eiffel Tower. You drag in your Eiffel Tower. What you're going to do is straight up multiply. Sorry, you hit multiply to remove the background. Then what you're going to do, you're going to hit free transform, Ctrl T, and position the Eiffel Tower on the right top, or the top right. I'm going to position it on the top right corner of the flyer. We have to increase or decrease. You have to add a little bit exposure to it, so it won't look too dark. Then make it a little bit bluey. Okay, yeah, color balance. Here we're going to give it or make it a little bit bluey. So, and you head over to shadows, add blue, head over to highlight as well, add blue. You can add cyan as well. Now look at the result. You can choose to increase it to make it more visible, just like the way I'm doing it. Now we're almost done. We are more than halfway there. All we just need to do now is to add the trophies and the name Dembele at the top of the flyer. Yes, so we need to hit, go to our texts. We'll also select the fonts. Alright, but I think we need to write the name Dembele first. Currently the font is Montserrat, but we're going to change it because I would not like to use this particular font for what I want to do just now. So this is the font I want to be using, Brush Script NT. You increase the size. Do not make it too big, or make it to be able to enter into the desired area. You have to pick the color. Okay, the color is white, and these are just few adjustments that I'm trying to make, and you can see them for yourself as well. You can choose to just write it and leave it that way. You can choose to make it slanty a little bit, rotate it a little bit. I think we've fixed that. There's nothing much. We've done that. This is the reason why I wanted to use this font. Look at the result now. It's looking much better than Montserrat. Alright, Montserrat font for me is just basically information filling font, not design font. You reduce the feel of the text, the text is showing through this guy's shoulder. This is not really what I want. I think it's not good. It's not good now, so we need to do something about that. I think the next thing is just to deactivate the marks, the layer mark. Sorry, we need to delete it. Sorry, and when we delete it, this is what it looks like. But we need to create another one and erase some parts to make it good. So carefully erase this time around. Carefully erase. Okay, I think now the result is much better. The words are not really showing through the character's shoulder. I think now we have added the text. The next major thing we need to do now is to add the trophies. Alright, but before we add the trophies, let's distort the shadows more. Let's make it more realistic. Now it's better. Now it's really better. We have our trophies. Before I add the trophies, what we need to do now is to erase some parts. We need to erase some parts, yeah. Okay, now we've imported the trophy. but the trophy is not looking, it's not blending with the background, and that's a problem. That's a huge problem. So what we need to do now is to make it, or let's say make it more bluish, something like that. Add a little blue. Yes. Now what we're going to do is that we're going to go to camera raw filter and add detailings like the texture, the sharpness, and probably the exposure and everything. So you head over to sharpness first. Okay, I think now it's good, and now it looks much better than before because we've added, look at it before now, look at this, it does not blend with the background. Alright, so if you're encountering something like this, make sure that whatsoever image that you're importing to your design would blend well. Okay, now look at it now, it blended perfectly well, it looks very fine. Alright, so next step we need to do is that we need to import, we need to import the Ballon d'Or, because Dembele is this year's Ballon d'Or winner, so we need to add a trophy. Yes, resize a little bit, not completely resize because you're going to request resize a little bit, and make our selection and hit Ctrl G as usual, then delete the old layer. Now we're going to head over to adjustments so I can be able to add more gold to this ball. So you hit on yellow, add more saturation. Now look how good the ball is. Now you have to resize the Ballon d'Or close to the trophy, the Champions League trophy. You will also, yes, the last trophy remaining. I know that this is not entirely all the trophies that Dembele won, but we're going to work with these three. Now we made the selection, we need to deselect this white part because it's not part of the trophy. This is the background. Okay, once you've done that, you need to hit Ctrl J. Ctrl J will simply duplicate the selection. Then you have to delete the background, the main image with background. Now what we need to do now is you have to resize and also convert. Okay, yes, it's converted already to smart object. So what you need to do now is to go to adjustment, go to hue and saturation, change to yellow. This is to give it more golden effect. Now it looks a lot like a golden, trophy. Now you have to resize. Not exactly to the size of the Champions League trophy, and not exactly to the size of the Ballon d'Or. So you would send it to the back. No. Okay, not like this. You're going to slim it down because all these are smart objects, so you can just slim it down. Send this to the back of the Ballon d'Or trophy and make few adjustments. These adjustments I'm doing now, you can do your personal adjustments in order to probably attain a better result. Okay. Now I think what we need to do now is to add shadows to the trophy to prevent it from looking like an object that is just hanging on the flyer. So to be able to achieve this, you use your brush tool, so you can create something like this. Then you can resize your brush tool and everything to create a shadow. Now what we need to do is to save. We need to save this image because we're completely done with everything and everything looks sparkling clean, everything looks perfect. So you would go ahead to choose to save it as JPEG or PNG, or me, I'm going to save it as JPEG, and that's just every single thing. Save, and this is how it came out to be. This is how it came out to look like. Perfectly clean. Look at the details, everything good, everything clean, everything perfect. Now that's how to make a football poster. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Alright, see you on the next one.